Hello and welcome to a little grinding session. I've got two tables of 5NL. Basically, I want you to grind with me. So open up your own poker software, whatever site you play on, pop open a couple tables, and start playing with me. We'll grind together here. I'm planning on doing this for about an hour right now, this session. Two tables to start. I might open up a third if I feel like things are going well and my mind is firing nicely. Now, I'm not going to be speaking through every single decision, but any key decisions, anything that I think could be useful to you watching, I'll be commenting on. Easy fold right here. Tiny little 3-bet fishy player. As soon as the HUD pops up, I'll start color coding these opponents. I'm going to play my normal tight aggressive kind of game. Oh, that would have been nice. 5 into 55, so we've got a couple fish over here. Auto folding hands like this, I don't even wait for it to come to me. Think about anything. No need to think, I just know. 5 deuce off, bottom, I don't know, bottom 5% of hands maybe. Not worth playing for anything. All right, so now the HUDs have popped up and they're on the correct players, P5, P5. So let's definitely start color coding them based on just what we know about him, what we've seen in prior hands, right? Min 3-bet like that, he might be an aggressive player, but he's a fish. He's not sizing it right. His bluffs aren't working enough at that tiny little 5 big blind 3-bet size, and his value bets aren't getting enough value at that size as well. So, and that little 1/11th big blind bet right here, this guy is another fish also. Darn, fish left. That's all right. Probably have plenty of other fish to be playing against here. If I had something a bit stronger, I would really consider 3-betting. It's an MP, min raise, he's weak right here. I mean, it's under the gun, but with the player missing, it's still the MP. Min raise and then call. Another weak little 3-bet over here. Over here. This guy's a fish too. Good, it worked. I saw how he hasn't been playing any hands. I figured an MP steal could work there. Just seeing lots of min opens on this table. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, nut flush draw as well. Backdoor nut flush draw. Figured it's a good time to be c-betting. So this table looks like it'll break up soon. So let's go ahead and get on another one to replace this one. Or if players come in, we can keep 3 tables. Looking loose aggressive, no 3-bets yet, but doing a ton of calls as well as open raises. And a nitty player over here. No short stacks, all full stacks or larger, okay. King Jack's not a bad hand, but I don't really want to bloat the pot from out of position. If I had missed that turn, I probably would have bet just as a bluff, but I got some showdown value. He didn't bet on the ace and the queen. I was probably ahead with my one pair hand on that turn. So I was just going to check and get to showdown cheaply. Folds 100%. I'll check right here. Not too scared of anything on this board, and I think I can check call. At least one street. The 4 I'm not scared of. If he bets again half pot, I'll check call once again. But if he goes bigger, like 30, 35 cents, I'll consider folding. 65! Okay. Yeah. You can take that. It's interesting. Overbet on the turn. This is an open, if I get the opportunity. Now, he hasn't done any calls. It's his first call in 15 hands. Don't know how many opportunities. He's 0 out of 5. So there's a good chance he has an ace right now. It could have just been a pocket pair to set mine, and he totally whiffed. So because of that, I am going to make one stab at this pot. Hopefully just take it down. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he called with a worse pocket pair or a worse 10, like queen 10 or jack 10. That kind of a thing. But really, I'm fine with just betting, ending that hand right now instead of checking and showing weakness. Then he comes out for a 2/3 pot on the turn, and I can't call with that ace high board. Oh, our first 3-bet we faced. 11 big blinds. He means business. Easy fold. Well, if you did choose to grind with me, I hope it's going well. 1, 2, 3 tables, 5 tables, however many you play. Well, that was a quick check. I don't think he likes that board. Or maybe he likes it and it was a super, like, gut reaction kind of a check. I ain't got squat. King 3. Oh, that's what it was. I generally don't respect tiny little min raises. So just coming for the 3-bet. Now, basically, I'm betting here, possibly get value out of a couple of hearts. An ace high might call, but I also potentially, well, that's a bummer, deny any ace high hands or even queen high or jack high from getting value against me. Well, that's a really good river. He called on the 2 hearts. He might have an ace. It could be a weak ace. I want to get value out of him. Half pot is 89 cents. What would he have a hard time folding to? 65 cents. A little over a third pot. He's going to have a hard time folding a king here. Definitely calling with an ace, right? Wow, does he have 2 pair? He doesn't have queen jack. He's doing this with 2 pair. Did he flop a set of 3s? I can see him doing this with weaker sets and 2 pair hands. I can. So I'm calling. Doesn't have to be a queen jack. King queen. Wow, okay, interesting. King queen. Let's make a note of that. Connection to the server can't be established at the moment. Try again later. Well, I rivered set 10s. He had king, queen off. So if, in that hand in the future, if I can, if I review that hand, because it was a pretty decent winning hand, right? I might pull it up in the future in Poker Tracker. I'll be able to read the note I made on him and I'll know what he had. I'm pretty sure. Well, if I hit the hand for player, is that gonna? Let's try it here. There we go. Okay. So, 10s. This is the board. 10. I 3-bet him. He called with king, queen. He's got the top pair. Check calls. The ace hits. Check behind. The 10 hits. I make a small bet looking like a bluff. See? I was trying to bet an amount that he'd have a hard time, like I said, folding any king. He would automatically call with an ace, right? And you would hope he could shove with ace 10, rivered 2 pair, ace king, set of threes or something, right? But he shoved with a king queen. Let's see. Does the replay shows a king queen, so Poker Tracker 4 might have that information. Might have that information. But just in case, I like to put a note when I see a showdown like that, especially for a potentially interesting spot to study later on. Nope. I'm just noodling on that prior hand. What do you think he was doing? He was turning a potential showdown hand just into a bluff, right? He could have easily check called. Why didn't he just check call with the king? I didn't have to have an ace. I checked when the ace hit. He was probably ahead. He's just a loose, aggressive, like maniac player who finger tilted, wasn't thinking about his play. What, did he think I could call with like a jack 10? Like a weaker, rivered pair of 10s? I don't know what he was thinking. But I'm glad he thought it. $1.49, 3/4 pot. I mean, that screams 2 pair or better, right? That size in position on the river. I mean, if he had something weaker, just a top pair hand. So, like I said, 2 pair or better, but it could easily be a straight with a queen 10. Oh, no. It could be a set of threes. I didn't see the action on all the prior streets because I was thinking about that hand, but that was had to be 2 pair or better. Love your limp. Love your short stack. Thanks for putting your fishiness on display. I appreciate it. He folds 100%. Sweet. So let's make it 4 big blinds. The idea is we isolate him. We c-bet bluff the flop. Take it down. Ace, ace. Half pot. Rep the ace. If he doesn't have a pair, like pair of 8s, a pair of 6s, he's just going to get out of there. Now, this is where an ace would really consider betting. Oh, donk bet. You have a couple of spades? What do you... You have a king. You're block betting with a king. I have a king as well. My kicker might be ahead of you. My kicker plays right now. So I'm going to call. Well, my kicker no longer plays. That could have been a small bet. It was a small bet with an ace trying to elicit a raise out of me. Now he increased it this big. Oh, interesting. Jack 10 of spades. Had a flush draw plus a straight draw. Bet small as a blocking bet. He just hit his straight. So I think he has trip aces or better. I mean, if I called, it would just be bluff catching, but that's a super big 3/4 pot bet. He's got it. He's got better than my king for sure. Other than like a straight up 2 spades bluff draw, 7-8 of spades, something like that. I really can't name much that would make that bet that my kings were ahead of. So I cannot call nor bluff raise. Love the limp. Once again, trying to exploit a limper. It didn't work over here. He donk bet into me. We'll see if he can follow, if he does the same plan he does. I don't know. Hard to hit board. Just repping. Anything good. Hard to hit board. He can easily fold any 2 overs. King, Jack, Queen, 10. Pocket 3s can fold here. 8, 9 can easily fold. I think an ace, he is probably a fishy player, but I bet you an ace could have folded on that flop. 64, that ace doesn't connect with that. I'm going to use this as another bluffing opportunity on that ace, on that scare card ace. He could have easily had a king and a jack, king 10, jack 9, 10, 9 on the flop, and the ace is going to scare him off. Now he doesn't have 2 overcards. So, using the big card as a scare. Drat, didn't work. So you have a 6. You didn't flop a straight 5-3. You didn't limp call. You didn't limp call 5-8. Limp call 6-7, 6-5, ace 6. Look, he doesn't know what to bet. He has a value hand, and he's thinking, what should I bet? What should I bet? And so he bets exactly a half pot. I guarantee he has my queen high beat right now. I'm not going to be able to bluff raise him off the hand. I mean, he just committed 1/4 of his stack. I can't bluff raise him. No, he comes out firing. I fire 2 streets. He's stuck around both streets. He has a 6. Easy fold. Shame. Didn't work out. Just topping off my stack. Good, the fish built back up to 100 big blinds. 27-0, you're a fish. $56.44. Raising 67%, raise first in. Calls 50%. It's only 1 out of 2, but still. He's a fish. I don't defend with weak offsuit aces. With a call, I don't. Out of the blinds. I could 3-bet against the 3-bet bluff against the right opponent. If players like this, 31-23, if he decides to come in, kind of like this player, 46-31, if he starts making 3-bets, I'll color code him orange, and I'll color code this player orange too. Because for me, the way I look at things, orange means loose aggressive player. Now, these kinds of stats, 50-36 with a lot of 3-bets, or 29-21 with a lot of 3-bets, that's not just loose aggressive, that's more like a maniac kind of a player. So I use the orange color for good lags and for maniacs, but that's fine because I play at most 4 tables at a time. I don't have I'm not Nano Noko with 10, 15, 20 tables going. So I can see the orange and then I can look at the stats and get a good idea. I like to keep things simple. 29-14, no folding to C-bets, no C-bets, you're a fish. We've got a lurker over here. Oh, look at, okay, so yes, he's a lurker, right? Not that I need this note, but I'll put it for you. So he's probably a tight aggressive player, so I'll color code him yellow. So what I've noticed, because Ignition is anonymous players, right? A new player comes in, I'll lose those 15 hands, bam, the database will start. My history with that opponent will start from scratch at 0 hands. Some players come in, and they're often the tight aggressive players, they're thinking players, they're trying to do whatever they can to exploit their opponents. So they sit around and they just fold They fold, fold, fold round after round. I've seen players fold every single hand for the first 6 rounds. I've seen them get up to 30 hands, 0-0, 100% folding to steals in both instances. And then they start to wake up with open raises and calls and 3-bets. They're what I call lurkers. They're just sitting there building up stats, like letting me play against the other players. And they're just building up stats, like a little history on those 3, 4, 6 rounds, whatever it is, against their opponent. And they think that that'll give them a leg up on everybody. Now, sure, maybe it gives a leg up against players that aren't paying attention, that aren't using a HUD, that aren't noticing this stuff. Like it might give him a leg up versus this player and this player and this player. You know, anybody playing too many hands. It gives him a leg up on them. But he's telling me, like literally, he is saying to me, hey, Sky, I'm a tight aggressive player. Play against me as such by making these plays, folding every single hand. So I appreciate your lurkerness, and he gets a yellow for it. Even though he looks like a nit at 0-0, he'll open up after, right now. I don't mind ending the action, but we have a player against him. I'm not a big fan of Queen 9 suited anyway, but ending the action, I was tempted to call, especially if he had made it smaller, a min raise or 12 cents. I would have potentially called. But I'd rather see what he does here. And then look at ace high comes and he doesn't c-bet. He doesn't have an ace. You should be bluff betting. Unless you have an ace and you're slow playing, you should have bluff bet that flop. Oh, maybe he's trying to be tricky. Delayed c-bet right there on the second ace. Good size too. 56. If it comes to me, shame. I am definitely gonna open raise. Just because he's been nitty. 410, no 3-bets yet. No 3-bets either over here. So, open raise. Plus, lots of folds versus steals. I only need to be able to win 25% of the time to make this. And I bet I can win 25%, at least 1 out of every 4 times. I'm going to call. Tiny little 3-bet. If he has pocket aces, he's missing value. If he had pocket deuces and he was bluffing, he's not getting folds often enough, right? A little bit less than half pot, trying to get value with my second pair hand. And at the same time, this kind of bet right here, if he does call on some kind of a weird draw or something, there's a really good chance he's going to check on every river, and I could just check behind if the river doesn't give me a jack or a 9 to improve my hand. Posting under the gun, fish. I should have made it 5 big blinds. My mistake. Usually I would. In position against a fish. But you know, I'm good with 4 though. With his short stack, that gives me a little bit more room to maneuver post flop in case he calls. Because if I make that pot too big and he calls with his short starting stack, that pot is so big, his stack isn't much bigger. The SPR, stack to pot ratio, is low. He could easily be committed. That's good though. I love seeing fold a 3-bet. What are you doing? He's a lurker who also has ranges open in front of him. He's got like Kiss cash game ranges, or he has Flopzilla Pro open or something like that. Yeah. and he's just staring at his ranges, looking, making sure what's going on. Maybe using Flopzilla Pro and gauging what's, I don't know, thinking about what ranges his opponent can call with. Who, I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he's overthinking right now. Maybe not overthinking. He's putting a lot of thought into his decisions. He's a lurker. $0.27. $63% pot. Is he typing in numbers? Oh. Ace of clubs? Ace. Wow. I want to think about that bet sizing he was using. That can probably tell me something about his hand. So we got to remember what he had. Pocket sevens, right? 3-bet small with pocket sevens. Key to remember, of course, you called ace 3 suited of clubs. What a great full, oh, I'm going to call this for sure. Looking like a tight player. Queen 10 suited for one more big blind. Cannot fold that. Check. I don't like check calling. I like check raising. He didn't give me a chance to check raise. So I'm just going to come out and bet. Like as if I had missed value with my ace. Good. It worked. 27 into 64. So, oh, interesting. That's a bluff. It's a bluff. Love this. Love this. That's why when people make weird bet sizes, you always want to pay attention, okay? So, easy fold. So here's the deal. The pot is 64 cents, right? Dang it, I gotta just move it down here. Oh, no. The pot is 64 cents, right? If you click the half pot button, and I'll just show you the math right here. 64 divided by 2 is, boom, 32 cents. He bet 27 cents. So what he did was he clicked half pot, and because it was a bluff, he wanted to end the hand, he sized it down one big blind to go to exactly, or from exactly 32 cents up to 20, or down to 27 cents. So that was an absolute bluff right there. So was it player 6? Is it still the same player? Oh, still the same player. So let's just put a note. Sizes bets down as bluffs. Size down bluffs, however want to say that. So we'll try to keep that in mind. But let's see if we find the same math involved on the next street. $1.15. 115 divided by 2 equals 57.5 cents. So like if you round up, it would be 58 cents, right? Interesting. Now he sized it up 3 big blinds, right? So plus 15 cents, 3 big blinds, equals 72. That's the 73. The system would have rounded it up to the nearest whole number. So, oh, wow. So he actually sized it up on his barrel bluff, because I guarantee that was a barrel bluff. Who do we have? Interesting. Wow. Sizes bets down. Sizes bets down as bluffs on flop can increase bluffs on turn 3 big blind. Okay, we'll see if we can spot something like that in the future. Ooh, 8 big blind 3 bet. Just shove it in, dude. You've got nothing to lose. Maybe you have a good hand. Don't want him to fold. Ace high would have shoved. We'll get to see. Pocket nines. Oh. Ah. So, let's take a note of that. 8 big blind, 3-bet, out of position with ace-ace. So we'll try to remember that about this player. In a future hand, we might see him 3-bet from out of position. Now, he might have been sizing it purposely because that guy was short-stacked. Bummer, he just left the table. He might have been sizing it to try to get that short stack to shove. Makes total sense. I would have done that same thing. I like that 8 big blind size. But that might be a tell. He might go smaller with his best 3-betting hands and bigger with his bluffs. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll pay attention. Yeah, his first 3-bet that was. So his first 3-bet that was. It's time to bet, dude. Rep the ace. Bet when they check. They check 2 streets out of position when the ace hits. Unless you have a 6 or a 4 and you just hope to win a showdown. Oh, now you're betting. River trip 9s, huh? That's my guess. Limped with 9-10. Where have you 3-bet from? Only 1 out of 8. 3-bet in the small blind. Folding. You don't fold that much, but you fold on the flop? Okay. Nice. Could be one of my students. ISO raising 5 big blinds. Oh, nice. So you've made 2. That's a good size too, 5xing it. I love that size. So he's 3-bet twice, both from the blinds, once in the small blind, once in the big blind. Something to remember. Loose, aggressive player, capable of 3-betting. Let's, like I said, I do. Ace Jack. You missed out on value, buddy. I guess you got some. I wasn't seeing what happened. Let's actually take a look. Hand history pops up. Oh, fudge. Okay, replayer. Player 1 we're looking at and his bet sizing on the various streets. Starts with 221. Limps. Oh, that's right. Limps and then calls the 5 big blinds. 3 diamonds. Could have got super lucky with a flush. Could easily be a top pair king, king 10, king jack, king queen, limping and then calling. Ace king might have even done that. Sometimes you see fish make plays like that. 30 into 53. Okay, I can see any 3 diamonds calling, a very strong diamond calling, and a king just calling as well because of those 3 diamonds. And he just calls. $1.10, another king hits. 38. 40 cents. So that's a tiny bit. What was it before? 30 cents on 53. So it looks like he's going for value here, right? He ISO raised to 5 big blinds. It looks like he might have ace king. But then the turn comes another king. He's scared. He has pocket 10s. He has ace queen. He doesn't like that board. So he comes out firing small, absolute bluff. I like the call. Could have also been a raise for value, but once you sense weakness right there, totally understandable not raising. Just calling, let him string himself. You have position, you could bet the next street. Don't like that board. I mean, I like it. Chicken board. The jack hits, $1.86. You have $1.26 behind. He doesn't bet. He shows super weakness right there. Is he calling? Can he call with a king there? I think he's going to check behind quite often. Even though I show weakness by checking, I think he's checking behind on that big overcard, but now he bets. Could be for value or as a bluff. All I have is a bluff catcher. Gut shot draw. What is he betting that I beat? Ace, queen, ace, jack. But is ace, queen, ace, jack calling on the 10, 10, 7? Maybe going just half pot was a little too small. I should have upped it one big blind maybe. We'll remember that for next time. And you look like a fish. Short stack, 67-17. Capable of betting when he's checked to, though. That's good to know. So he checks, and now he shoves. Easy fold, because I guarantee you were weak, and that didn't complete any draws. And it wasn't an ace if you were checking an ace-high hand. Nice. You sit down and you get aggressive, buddy. $23-23-7. I'm loose. I'm playing definitely loose aggressive. 26-24, 38 raising first and no 3-bet yet. Just haven't had a good opportunity to. But yeah, loose aggressive on both of these tables. But we got the lag over here. 2 3-bets so far. 1 out of the big blind, 1 out of the small blind. What was his small blind? In the small blind 3-bet versus button, I'm in the MP right now, so he might not 3-bet bluff me. When was this button 3-bet? Versus the cutoff. Okay. So both times, both of his 3-bets out of the blinds were against steal positions. So he might be a player very similar to me. Take your time, dude. We got all day. So if you're still watching at this point, and if you're actually grinding, in the video down below, just comment with the number of tables you're grinding right now. 1, 2, 3, 17 tables, your Nano Noko, that kind of thing. I'd love to see it. Don't like to fold to steals. I have a hand that I want you to fold. I'm not going to steal there. Nice. What's his raise? EP 0? On a strong hand. Fold so I can open. Isolate the fish. Oh. I just haven't... Oh, he left. Yeah, no big deal. Drat. You don't like to fold. I only have an ace high. I have a little bit of showdown value. Might be able to take this down on the river. Rivered 7. He has a rivered 7. 7, 8, 7, 9. Is he going to bet with an ace? He's just going to check. Is he going to bet king high? No, he'll check. He has a rivered 7. That was a blocking bet. Rivered the 7. Drat. I should have bet the turn, I guess. Delayed Cbet. Missed that one. So that's one of the things. Now, I don't know for a fact that that was a bad or a good river fold. But when somebody bets the river, before you decide to call, you got to ask yourself, are they betting anything worse? Now, a king high or an ace, we chop unless his kicker beats me. An ace or a king high is often just going to check there. But a rivered pair is going to bet. But what about like just a 9 high hand that had nothing? I mean, he's a passive, look, he's a loose passive fish. That had to be a pair. He's not going to bet a 9 high as a blocking bet and hope I fold. Maybe he will, because I showed weakness by checking 2 streets, actually. I think I should have bet that turn. That was a mistake. Let me review this one later. I mean, it wasn't a big hand, but I think that was a mistake. Ooh. Nice. We got some fireworks here. He's got a good hand. You should fold unless you have a great hand. Jacks are better. There you go. Good fold. Show a bluff. He had a great hand. Hasn't been at the table long. Cold 4-bet to 25, 20 to 20 big blinds. He liked his hand. Two reasons I'm giving him the green fish color. Small blind just limp and that tiny buy-in. That board just got wetter and uglier. That's why we color code them green. They're fish. Nice raise size. Hopefully we get to see a flop. And showdown. Because I want to learn about this player. I want to learn, what is he doing? That's a good ISO raise size, so that's not your standard 4 big blinds like most people make it. That's kind of the size that I often teach to make. Oh, now you're not so fishy anymore. Did you do any limps, though? 0 limps. I wonder why I had him fishy. Is this the same player? Yeah, it is. Let's go to yellow now. He went from looking like a fish to looking tight aggressive. No 3 bets, but only one call. 8 out of 30 raises, raising first in. Cool. He doesn't have to have a king here. Doesn't have to have a pair. Doesn't have to have a couple of hearts. There's so much stuff that he's folding on this board. Queen high, jack high, 10 high, ace high, potentially pocket 4s and 3s. Limped pot, all Broadways. Let's see if there's some magic. I bet you the first one to bet will take it down. That's a kind of board. Limpers often have the under pairs and the weaker suited connectors and stuff. They don't all have to have Broadway. First bet takes it down. Oh, that was your chance to bet, man. And just take it down. You bet 10 cents there. They're both folding. Geez, you're thinking about calling with a 10, huh? Or betting with a 10, I mean. Jack high, queen high, 7 high. I'm telling you, you would have taken it down. You were the first act. That was the perfect river to bet on. The third heart, another ace. Perfect. They all believe that you have 3 hearts there or an ace. Not 3 hearts. That you have a flush or an ace for trip aces. Yeah, I would color code myself orange if I saw these stats. This is also an orange player with just no 3 bets yet made. Well, the 3 better at the table is not in the blinds, so let's see what he does. This might be my first under the gun EP raise first in as well. It is. Nice. Wow. Mega wet. We're going half pot. Exactly. Hoping he folds an ace high right here. An under pair of 4s. Bummer he raises. So this is one of those boards that it's kind of a tough decision whether or not. This is a very easy board for most players to fit or fold. And the fact that he raised tells me he definitely likes his hand here. I'm not going to be able to come over the top. I could have checked behind, but I had nothing at all. Other than an ace on the turn, there was nothing to help me. I wanted to just end the hand now. Checking on the flop on that board is total weakness. He could have easily bet half pot and just taken it down on the turn against me. So I decided instead of checking behind and folding turn, let's take a stab at it right now. Hope that he has nothing that connected. And it didn't work. Oh, trip jacks. My SB min steal worked. %. Was it 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 8? 1 out of 4. I'd just rather have it be suited or a suited connected ace. No, I'm really glad I didn't 3-bet bluff. Ooh, and he called. Such a short stack right here. I don't want to bloat the pot. I mean, I have an ace. In these kinds of spots, I often just check. I know it shows weakness, and I do have an ace, and it would be great if he just, if I raise and he folded. But all I have is an 8 right there. Ace 8, I mean. Like I really only have 6 outs. It's 12% to hit. It's not worth it to call. And that doesn't feel like, although if I hit, yeah, no, shame. I mean, I could have raised pre. I don't like the 10 cents. I didn't mean to click it twice. I would have preferred just a 5-cent bet right there, just because it's just half pot, right? Why bet full pot? Smells like, I have a good hand. And he called on the 3 hearts. The fact that he called with those 3 hearts, I really think. Time down. 3 exit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. You can shove on me, dude. Go ahead with your jacks. I don't mind. Or you can fold. What a shame. So he's a 3-better. That was his 3rd 3-bet. Definitely capable of bluffing. And I just made it a good enough size to try to extract max value out of the 3-bet bluffer. And if he wanted to call with something speculative like King 10 suited, then great. My aces have really good equity versus a suited connector like that. But I might have made it too big. Maybe that kind of screamed value. Yeah, that screamed I had a value hand. $1.35. Yeah, that is a big one. 27 big blinds. I should have gone $1.20. Fish. Got the ace king. Limp, I'm going to make it 5. He's going to read weakness in this. He could come over the top. Not read weakness, but read a potential steal right there. A potential ISO raise without a really strong hand. Wow, I'm missing flops like mad, huh? But this is actually a really good flop. 2 overcards, backdoor flush, backdoor straight draw. This is a good flop to c-bet the flop for half pot, maybe a little bit over half pot. Try to sell the idea that I have pocket aces, pocket kings. And then they'll check to me on the turn, and then I can decide what I'm going to do depending on the turn card. I would love to see any ace, king, heart. Now that's a weak blocking bet. He does not have anything good right here. He just has a couple of hearts. I got a heart blocker. I mean, it might be the nut flush draw, but if he does have a nut flush draw, ace 5 of hearts, I mean, I'm ahead of that right now. So I'm just betting enough to put him in exactly. Doesn't smell like a queen. Oh, it was a queen. Shame. Wow. Well, I sucked out on the turn right there. But like I was saying before, betting on the flop, I had so many backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, 2 overcards. The same reason applies to raise him right there. I sensed weakness out of that. Ooh, 666. I sensed weakness out of him. And so I pounced on the weakness, right? Sometimes you're wrong when you sense that weakness. And other times you're right. And other times you're wrong, but you're made right because the turn helps you out. So that was a good hand. Well, if you're still grinding along with me, I hope it's going well. Oh, another lurker, potentially. He's 3-bet 2 out of 13 times. Interesting. Super nitty player. 3-bet twice. He's still at a starting stack. So, yeah, hasn't made any money. Maybe he had to top off. I didn't pay attention and see those hands. Where'd he 3-bet from in the past? The prior 2 times. Small blind both. Oh, he's 3-betting me now. But he's a super tight player. Oh, that's a good size. 10 big blinds too. He is playing super tight, trying to sell the idea that he has a strong hand. I got the worst ace in the deck. This is an easy fold at this point. Here's one of the interesting things. Fold, sit out next big blind. So you see how these players, if they're using HUDs, they see this as a target, right? Like I look at this as a target, not this right here. Anybody who folds a lot to 3-bets is a target. Now, I just developed a really hefty folding, 3 out of 4. That's going to prompt stronger, aggressive players to make more 3-bet bluffs against me. So here's what I do. When I'm showing I raise a lot, but then I fold a lot, I simply leave the table. Now, I might get, let me open another one. I might get thrown back right to that exact same table. But hey, they're not going to know it's me. No, I'm not going to steal. Boom. Brand new table. Sure, it's not a full table, but it could become full, right? And now I left my folding ways behind. They don't know anything about me other than that I bought in for a full stack. They haven't seen how I've been playing. They don't know I'm a loose, aggressive player. They don't know that I've folded to 3-bets a lot. See, this guy's tackling me too. Where is he 3-bet with, or where has he 3-bet from in the past? In the big blind now, it's a small blind versus the small blind before in the big blind. Okay, easy fold. Another 10 big blinds. Could be the exact same player for all I know. If he calls, I'm going to call as well. Ooh. I wish I knew more about him. I could potentially call, maybe come over the top. But let's see what we can learn about these players. Tiny 3-bet, calling in position. Good. Nice ace. Missed out on value, though. Yeah, that was an easy fold, though, the queen 10. So we've got an aggressive player over here. I'm going to give him the green, though. I just get the sense that he's a fish because of the tiny 3-bet he made. And now he keeps open race. I mean, I guess he's a maniac. So I'll stick with the orange. Open raise again. Don't even think about it. Open raise. Yeah. This guy's a maniac. He's a great player to have on my direct right. Because what I do when I'm up against super maniacs like this, I generally don't fight fire with fire unless I have a very strong hand. Then I'll 3-bet big for value and C-bet big for value, that kind of stuff. What I'll often do is call with very good floppable hands. The king queens, the ace 10 suited, the pocket threes, the fours, the 10-9 suited, jack 10 suited, jack 8 suited, jack 9 suited, things like that. I'll call in the best position when I don't expect a 3-bet behind, right? With the goal of I'm going to hit it or quit it on the flop. So if I flop a good strong hand, top pair or better, I'll just call him down. You have to sometimes hold on to your butts, right? And you know, he's triple barreling potentially 3 streets for 2/3 pot each time, and all you have is a top pair hand, and it can be scary. But you know from just the player type he is, he's capable of barrel bluffing against you and raising really weak pre-flop. So you call with the idea that you're going to let him string himself along. You're going to let him hang himself with his aggression post-flop. And you only do it when you have position, too. You want that positional advantage. I mean, I guess you can do it out of position and then check raise at the opportune time. All right, so we've been playing for 1 hour. I hope your grinding session went well. I feel that mine did. Made a couple mistakes, but made some good chips at the same time. We'll sit out the next big blind on both of these, then we'll call the session quits. Hopefully he comes back in so we see one or two more hands on that table. We got a limper over here. Even though I'm leaving the table, I try to just develop this as a habit, raising my last hand. Always color coding players, even though I'm leaving the table. Just want to make it a habit. One of the interesting things is if I'm playing for 20, 30 minutes, and then I suddenly look at the table and realize there's no HUDs color coded, that means I'm not paying attention. I'm drifting off. I'm distracted, whatever it might be. So seeing colors across the board on all the players where it makes sense to have a color, that means I'm paying attention. So we're done there. So I think I topped off for $1.22. So like I'm, 35 cents up, give or take. Yes, leave the table. And over here, I left the other table at 8.80. So I was up 3.80-ish. And I'm down a few. So yeah, it's a good session overall. Just 5 NL. Yeah. What a lag. What a great player to play against. Good. I mean, you only got 84 cents. If he checks, bet something small to get value. Well, I guess you don't have a hand. You're just checking. What? Why'd you even call the flop? Let's see what he had. Oh no, we can't see what he had. There was something about connection to server. Oh, try again later. I guess maybe that means I need to close it down and open it back up. What a shame, because... Oh, this is my last hand. Yeah, it's not gonna, because he mucked, we're not gonna see Drat. Whoops. Drat. We only saw the ace-6, right? We don't get to see what he had, but I mean, called on the flop. Kings and sevens. I guess it wasn't an 8. He couldn't have had an 8. His ace played. Kings and sevens with an ace. I guess he could have had just a queen of spades, maybe? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Cool beans. Well, thank you so much for watching and playing along with me. I hope your grinding session went well. If you want to continue playing, great. Have at it. Good luck to you. But I am ending my session right now. Let's close it down, and I'll catch you in the next one.